Peace and blessings, everyone. This is to theists and atheists alike. I'm not sure what actually I'm going to prove, if I want to validate somebody's argument one way or another or what, but just my own thoughts on, of course, as always. But when was the last time that you watched a video, read a book about, saw something on TV about how our body works, more specifically at the molecular level? What happens within the atom? What happens within DNA and RNA? And all that takes place, all the work, machinery that goes on. I mean, when you get down to that level, that molecular level, you have these things that they move. They move as if they have life. And yet, but they move and they do things and they function in a manner. And the function that they complete, it's not just a random function. It's that they do it every time the same way. And so, once again, they appear to be life, but I think scientifically they're not considered really life per se. But what is it that gives them this movement? What is it that propels them and guides them to do these functions, the highly technical things that they do? Some of them, it seems like they just work basically like a machine, which gets in the argument of intelligent design. But what is it? Ultimately behind it all is God. But of course, what I want both sides to understand, well, I guess specifically the theists, speaking of God isn't speaking of religion. There's a truth to what it is that is the power behind these, right? And that truth, the ultimate truth, is what I hold to be God. Now, that doesn't mean that it's an intellectual being that does it. It's just that there's something there. And it's something that I think is missed on both sides. It isn't appreciated enough on both sides. The theists will point to it as proof of God and as a validation for the religion, but they're not appreciating it for just the ultimate all in the act. These things are moving, which aren't supposed to be alive, really. They don't have a mind. They're not conscious of what they're doing, but they do it each and every time. Like, they know their job. They go and do it. It's like when the sperm is going headed for the eggs, these sperms, well, a lot of them get lost, but they're on a mission. They travel with the ultimate goal. And they know once they get to the egg, they try to burrow into the egg, and it's something within the sperm, but there's no brain in there. There's no mind. It's not conscious, but It knows what it has to do, what's supposed to do. And what is that? So like I said, the problem becomes, well, it's proof of God, and then they use it as, thus it's proof of my religion. And that's not the case. It's proof, it shows that there's a God, and you know what? God said, do this. It's not that. You have to appreciate more just for the beauty of it, the wonder of it. And then for the atheists, at the same time, and I think a lot of problems, is what it is that God means. What is a true definition of God? And that's the real hang-up. If you just take God just for being the truth behind everything, then I believe that should be acceptable for an atheist. Once again, I'm not saying there's a God that's intellectual, and is telling people what they should be doing, that has rules and laws and punishments. I'm just saying the truth behind everything, the truth of all that is. That's God. And that's a great power. It's something that we just don't understand. We're just totally ignorant about. So we should have an appreciation for that aspect. Once again, for atheists, it's more of a scientific thing, and they use it to prove evolution. But even for them too, they're still missing out and not focusing on the just pure allness, is that a word, of what it is that transpires at this minute level. So just something for both sides to think of. Right? I'm gonna make another video after this. I generally don't put up videos back to back. I like to have a day or so between videos, but I'm gonna be going back home to Dayton, Ohio for a family reunion. And why are you stopping and blinking? Hope this problem has come out in the video, but something's weird going on the computer monitor. Like I said, I'm going back home for a reunion, so I gotta get these videos out before I leave because it's something I had on mind. Alright, so God bless, peace, and love.